This is my secret to learn languages fast, learn to speak languages fast. These are language islands. This is how it works. Basically, I've got all these sentences that I want to be able to say, thousands of sentences, things that I want to be able to say in real life scenarios and conversations about real topics. Everything I would say normally, everything that I say usually, it's written here and in a bunch of different ways so that I'm able to say the same thing different ways. So then I know the language structures and I know the grammar. I learn all the grammar and the vocab, but also different ways of saying things, so I don't get stuck later. Gives me more options, right? Everything's written here, and then next step is see the code here. This is Japanese. If you were learning Spanish, ES here, the E for German, etc. So we get Japanese, and we get it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And I'm going to explain you why later. But we get the Japanese, we get the target language here. So we get the sentences in the target language. Then we use AI to create a readable text of it. This is romanized, so now I know what it, how it's written. Yeah, and the 5 times here is so that I can copy all of this, paste it in a text-to-speech software, and get this. So ドイツ語はとかし言語です。ドイツ語はとかし言語です. And like that 5 times. And the next one, 私はドイツ語をとても上手に話します。私はドイツ語をとても上手に話します。私はドイツ語をとても上手に話します. And I get that each sentence 5 times by doing this, and then creating an audio file. That is great for shadowing, because repeating each sentence 5 times while having the text in front of you and the meaning here will help you learn them really well, very quickly. It's also really good for your fluency, because you develop in muscle memory. You're repeating thousands of sentences aloud, and you are also improving your pronunciation as well. I know it's not great, but do you like Germany? And ドイツは好きですか? I get the by sheer imitation, and like it's just a matter of repetition, deliberate practice. It's old school, but it works. Old school with new technology. So 5 times this way, text to speech, and then shadowing, lots of it with it. Also, having this then allows us to download it into flashcards, so we can then review English, not German, English to target language, and then target language to English as well. If we want. So that's deliberate practice, active recall, learning to think in the language, and then also finding out where we're making all the mistakes for vocabulary and grammar. This is the best way to learn, hands down. There's no better way of learning a language than this. Your own lines, thousands of them, which include if you write enough, like at least 1,000 sentences, several thousand would be better. All the grammar and vocabulary that you need will be included there. It's impossible that it's not included there if you don't write enough. If you write enough, and then just create an audio file with each sentence, just one column, each sentence only once, and you listen to it over and over and over. That's extra reviews you get in. But the main learning happens when you're doing lots of shadowing. So 5 reps with this sentence, 5 reps with the next one, and you do thousands and thousands and thousands of reps, and then active recall. You can use mnemonics to memorize the vocab first. So let's say you don't know what, I don't know, shigoto is work. You don't know that. Okay, so you visualize something that sounds like this, and then you associate it with work, and you know the idea. You can do that as well, but it's less necessary here because you know the lines, you know what they mean, you're repeating them a lot, and it's your own lines, and they're relevant and useful. So you'll remember them very quickly. So the main thing is using your own sentences that are relevant and useful for you, as many of them as possible, so that you learn enough grammar and vocab. lots of shadowing, 5 times each sentence, and active recall, translation into the language. You could do it here. I like Germany. Deutschは好きですか？ドイツは好きです。Guys, for questions. 私は、OK. I. 私はドイツが好きです。This would be, あなたはドイツは好きですか？あなたはドイツは好きですか？ And so on. So yeah, so you translate, see if you got it right or wrong. If it's a much longer one, I'll get it wrong probably. I like Germans because they're organized, trustworthy. Yeah, I don't know that vocab yet. Though I haven't shadowed this yet, but after like 5 to 10, maybe 20 reps of saying the same sentences over and over, I know them. But if I don't know it, like Deutsche Jin Gaskides, 私はドイツ人が好きです。で、no, and then I don't know that. But 組織的、信頼的, this is why it's also this is why I chose a long and complicated one on purpose. This is why it's look. I like Germans. The organizers for the punctual. I like Germans because they're organized. This one is much harder than this two. So learn this one first. I learn this one as well. And once I know this, so this one will be much easier. That's why I deconstruct the sentences into shorter and easier chunks. And once I know those, then I learn the longer ones easily. So that's how it works. So there'll be very short and simple sentences, and also really long and complicated ones that are not that complicated to learn if you know the shorter chunks that compose those longer sentences. You learn all the pieces apart on their own separately, and then finally you learn the long one. So I like this and that. Then this and that is X Y Z, and then I like this and that because it's X Y Z. That's how you learn it. But yeah, language islands, shadowing, active recall. And you do this every day and you can learn thousands of words and sentences fast. And you'll be speaking well if you do this enough.